Hey guys, Kevin Blair with Element Home Loans, and you have found your way to Mortgage Sense with Kevin, a common sense approach to mortgages. And I thank you for that. It means a lot to me. I've got a very special guest this morning or this afternoon, and can't wait to get him on here with us. Mr. Matthew Ballard, how are you, sir?
I'm doing great. Excited
Fan,
to be here.
Fantastic. Yeah, we tried this yesterday, a little technical difficulties, but you know what? Life happens, and here we are. We're going to do it again, brother. We're going to do it again. All right, so now you're with the Uptown firm. No, you're not. Who are you? Tell us who you were with.
No, I'm with Uptown Firm. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I had a little
You had
brain
it. You had
scan
it
there.
right.
Um, so tell us a little bit about Matthew. Who are you?
uh, yeah. So born in Alabama, or sorry, born in Arkansas, raised in Alabama. So I can claim two very interesting states, but ended up settling here probably about 20 years ago. I did my undergrad in Cleveland at Lee University. Went on from there, did grad school at Johns Hopkins. Path took me a different way and ended up settling back here in Chattanooga, doing something totally different than what I studied. So,
Imagine that. It's that happens a lot. It really does. But you found your way, and based on our conversations before, you found your way into real estate, but from a little different path. Okay.
yes, sir.
Forget the Johns Hopkins thing. That's a whole different. We could probably do a whole different podcast on that viewpoint. Uh, but you and your dad, y'all did a lot of flipping and
Yeah,
different
well,
things. Tell us about
growing up, my dad was GC master craftsman since probably the age of 10. When I could hold the other end of the board, he had me in the truck. So I learned a tremendous amount from him. He was master carpenter, could do anything from rehabbing a 100-year-old house to building, commercial building, ground up construction. So I learned a tremendous amount, which is what pushed me into science because I didn't want to work with my hands and work as hard as my dad did. And full circle, I'm kind of back to where I started. So,
that. So is your father still in it?
yeah, he is not as much as he was, but
Right.
still, he actually is now helped my brother-in-law out. He's now become a master plumber as well, so he legit can do anything.
I will tell you, and I don't even know if we talked about this before. I worked for my father for 19 years, 8 months, 3 weeks, and 6 hours. I mean, I'm not counting. Okay, I'm not counting at all. But it was in a completely different line of work, and which is what brought me from Texas. I was born and raised in Texas. What brought me to Chattanooga in '91, and I was still in business with my father, and we were in the franchise business. But I'm telling you, it was the food business, and it was 7 days a week. It was all day long. It was just hard, solid labor. Uh, and in '98, he told me I had to go back to Texas. Well, my two boys were in high school, and I couldn't. I just it just wasn't the right time, and that's how I found my way into the mortgage business. But you talk about your dad, and you talk about being that man that works with his hands. I had a mechanical bypass when I was born. I can't fix anything. I mean, I cannot fix anything. So you started with helping your father, and then did you get into flips first, or did you do that with him?
Yeah, uh, he would take on projects. He would do big renovation projects. He wasn't quote unquote like a house flipper or anything like that, but he ultimately was doing that. And then we did a lot of commercial different pieces of building apartments. I helped build a lot of advanced auto parts stores across kind of across the eastern side all the way up into the southeast up into I think the furthest I went was Indiana. He had
Wow.
like a little side mission. He would employ people in this from this Rafa Christian homes, and a lot of those guys, it was kind of more like a second chance kind of thing. A lot of those guys didn't have licenses. They were maybe out of prison or some kind of addiction issues they were working through. And so at 16 years old, I was like the foreman. I mean, there was many trips in the summer that I was the only person that could drive the truck. So it was me and a bunch of these Rafa Christian Home guys going to Ohio or Tennessee or wherever
Oh,
it may be. That was interesting.
yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine that. Man, what a life. I mean, that number one, there's a ministry side of it, okay, and I really like that part of it. But what an education. What an education. And that pushed you into science and pushed you into Johns Hopkins.
Yeah,
That's
totally. I was like, I'm not going to work with my hands. I'm not going to work this hard. It was brutal. It was.
and so here you're back. So tell us what's going on now. Tell us what you're doing now.
Okay, so when I settled back in Chattanooga, met my amazing wife during that time. We got married. Her mother-in-law, sorry, her mother, my mother-in-law, had a handful of residential real estate
Okay.
properties, and so I kind of started helping her a little bit on the management side, a little bit on like kind of getting things fixed here and there, collecting rent, that sort of thing. And I kind of saw the intense value in having property like that. And so my wife and I kind of made the leap and started investing in real estate. Had a few bad ends with people that have my current profession. And I was like, well, I can do that good or better. And so the ultimate goal was to take the middleman out, have access to deals, it just kind of help our investment side out.
Sure.
And through that, I kind of fell in love with working with other people, helping them do what we were trying to do. So that's
Fantastic. You know, do you own rental property now?
we do. We have some mainly residential, but we do have a commercial building.
You know, there's something about and I'm not going to ask you, it's none of my business, but there's something about starting off younger, okay, and building because what you're doing, dude, is building generational wealth for you and your family, and
Totally.
it's incredible if we take that. If I had an interview today, and this young lady started in real estate at 18, and she's 28 now, and she's killing it, and I can't imagine 18 getting into that type of business. And I don't care. It's my show. I can ask anything I want. How old are you now? Do you mind me asking?
I'm 41.
You're 41, dude. Can you imagine? And I'm 62. Can you imagine 20 years from now what you're going to have to leave behind for your family that's taking care of you and your kids and your grandkids? I mean, that's congratulations, man. That is huge. Um, it takes risk. It takes the the forethought to be able to handle it. Um, but then it just takes work. Okay. It
Mm-hmm.
just takes work. My oldest son, who is your age, okay, his father-in-law, which is a lot older than I am, that doesn't matter. But at one time, he had 25 rental properties that were all paid for, and he'd had them for 15, 20, 30 years. And I saw what it did for that family. So congratulations, man. That is huge.
Yeah,
Uh,
thank you.
so you're now, are you still buying for yourself, or are you just you're out there, or do you work mostly with investors? Is that what I'm getting?
Yeah, so I work with kind of a whole slew of clients. I work with people that are looking for their dream home. I'm
Mhm.
working. I'm working with first-time home buyers. I have commercial clients. I do tenant rep with. I do commercial listings and help people find buildings, that sort of thing. But you know, I think because of my background in construction and investing and what we do, I've kind of just fallen into having a nice pipeline of investors that I work with that have been repeat clients for the
Mhm.
last 8 years. I mean, I have guys that are doing, 5, 10, some 10, 15, 20 transactions with me a year. And I think at this point, I can honestly say I don't think anybody's lost money. Um, so that I feel pretty good about that. It's fun to like help analyze these properties.
Excellent.
Say, hey, here's what the ARV is. after repair value, here's what I can help estimate, like, rehab costs, what needs to be done, what doesn't need to be done, how to hit that point. And then they'll either sell it, or if they're trying to capture some kind of refinance, cash out refi like strategy, they're able to hit those numbers, recoup that cash back, and invest in another property. So I've had a lot of success doing that, and it's people keep coming back, and it's a lot of fun when you help people make money.
Yes, it is. Well, that's why they keep coming back. That's why they keep coming back. On my side of it, because I can tell just by listening to you talk, there's a passion about it. Okay, and the fact that people keep coming back to us. I've done families where we've done 3 or 4 loans for them, but what's exciting now is I'm now doing kids that I did their parents' loan several years ago, and for the families to send me their kids, man,
Yeah.
there's nothing better. There is nothing better about that. Um, there's a question, and I don't know how to ask it, and so I'm just kind of straightforward anyway. Um, I haven't met a whole lot of people like you as far as the niche, and I say niche. I don't say niche. I can't say that. I mean, I'm a Southern boy from Texas. I'm going to say niche. Um, it seems like you have put yourself in a really good niche market. Okay. Do you have a lot of competition in the Chattanooga area?
Well, I think there's a lot of people that I would say most agents out there maybe feel like they understand investment real estate.
Mhm.
I don't. I think if you're not an investor, then you don't understand it like you could. There's a lot of learning that goes with actually doing a flip, actually
Sure,
having rental property, and
sure.
without that, you can read all the books you want, listen to whatever podcast, but you're not going to learn it all unless your feet
You're doing it.
facing the ground.
Right. That's right.
I think there's a lot of people out there that sell investment property and have success. I think in the last 3 years, you could get by with a lot more because you could throw out whatever price you want. People are buying. It didn't
That's right.
matter.
It's not
Um,
all HGTV, is it?
yeah, unfortunately, you can't have a rehab done in 30 minutes. So,
Well,
um,
have you ever filmed it? Have you ever done that? Have you ever put a camera, one of those slow moving cameras? Have you ever done that?
I always have the thought that I'm going to video like this bathroom renovation or this renovation. It's always a great thought to do that. But I'd never do
Never
it.
do it.
I'm just like, I'm trying to get it done. Honestly, like we did a house last year. It was a small rehab, like full bathroom gut. I added a room and did some other things. But I did all the work myself for this particular one. And it took me forever because I would start working. I'd get a bucket of mortar mixed up for the tile or whatever. And then the phone would ring and I would just have to dump it out, go show a house or do whatever. My days doing it on my own, I think, might be dwindling because it's hard to it's hard to get stuff done personally when
Man,
you
I
got to
love
sell
that.
property.
I love that. All right, so let's do this. What's the best way for people to reach you?
um, yeah, email, phone. Yeah, email's great if it's not in a hurry. If you need my immediate assistance, it's phone number. My email's matt@uptownfirm.com. Super easy, and my phone number's everywhere: 423-838-4569.
Fantastic. And I'm Kevin Blair again with Element Home Loans. If you want numbers about financing, if you want to talk about investment financing or primary financing, I am your guy. You can reach me at 423-488-7571. Our website is kevinblairteam.com. You can look right above me to the About page, fill out a short form, give me your personal information, your phone number, name, phone number, that type of thing. I'll call you personally, would love to talk to you. If you like this kind of information, hit like, hit subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. And guys, I'm telling you, you've been listening to a man that knows what he's talking about. He's not just selling investment property. He owns investment property. He knows it inside and out. Give him a call. Give us a call. Matthew, thank you. Congratulations, man. Keep up the great work, and I mean that.
Thank you for having me.
Have a great day.